Hey, welcome to Advisors Lodge, a podcast for all financial advisors. I'm one of your hosts, Edward Pai.
And I'm your other host, Roger Ling. Join us as we chat with industry experts to get the best advisor tips and ideas. Hi, everyone, and a very warm welcome to a brand new and unique podcast series created specifically for financial advisors. My name is Roger Ling, and I'm part of the intermediary sales team within UOB Asset Management. This podcast will be bi weekly, and we have an exciting and informative 10 sessions planned for you, whether you are a new or a very seasoned advisor. We'll be covering everything from tips to prospecting of clients, what is happening in the markets, and as well as probably new types of investment solutions.
That's right. Before we go into today's episode, I am your co-host, Edward Pai, and I work with Roger in the same UOBAM intermediary sales team. I'm actually very excited about today's episode because we are going to dive into how advisors can truly differentiate themselves in a rapidly changing market. And it's not just about differentiation, but also deeply understanding what clients need from their financial advisors as well. Our guest today is Mr. Quek Chung Tze, Executive Vice President of Prestige Raffles by Manulife Advisors, who will share his valuable perspective on this topic. So, Chung Tze, welcome. It is wonderful to have you with us today. Now, let us start by understanding the beginning of your journey. Can you share how you enter the world of financial advisory? I'm sure our audience would love to hear from you.
Yeah, pleasure is mine. Thank you for the invitation, Edward and Roger. Right, so for myself, I've started the business in 2003, January 2003. Right, when I started out, I was still a uni student in National University of Singapore, NUS. That was my last semester, and at the point of time, it was kind of like a crossroad in my life where I was thinking, where should I be heading, after graduation? Right. Since young, I've always been very intrigued by numbers. So I'm very sensitive to numbers, and I've always been naturally scoring well with all the math and statistics, and that is why I majored in economics and statistics during my NUS stint. Right. And like I said, I was at a crossroad, not sure where I should be heading, but I do know, like there's some underlying sort of like direction that I want to have in the career that I'm going to embark on. So things like I would like to definitely have a bit more freedom with my time. And if possible, I'd like to have an acceleration in my career path based on how hard I work, because I'm truly a very hard worker, right? So I can work 24 hours a day. Straight up, and I do not wish to be doing that and yet not see the kind of progress that I want to have in my life, right? So by fate, right, I was introduced into this business from a friend in the university, and then he said, you know what, how about you give it a shot in financial advisory work with Manulife? So I took the exams, I passed them, and I got started in my final semester. In that 6 months, to be honest, it was like a trial period. It was a trial period. I don't know what to expect. All I know is I have to go out there. I have to be speaking to people. I have to be sharing about financial knowledge, and hopefully some deals can be closed, and then from there I can probably see some financial remuneration. I was very blessed because in that 6 months when I started approaching my warm market, and when I say warm, it's really, really very warm. I only approach my family members and really my very, very close friends. Like I said, I was very blessed. The hit rate was almost like 90 to 100%. Everyone I approach, I think I have quite a nice character, and people tend to trust me. so, so when I approached them, the business deal were done quite smoothly. And in that 6 months as a student, I was bringing in pretty decent deals, and my income was quite significant as well. After the 6 months of trying out the business, I was offered the fourth year of honors degree in NUS. And that was something that I was fighting really hard for, since day one that I entered the university. But I thought about it. I give it a really hard and long thought about it. It took me 1 month to make a decision that I will not do the fourth year, and I will continue in this business in financial advisory. So it was a really, really major decision, because something that we worked so hard for 3 years, just to give it up, it was very, very hard to let go. And of course, some people may ask, why don't you do both things at the same time? For me, I'm someone who is 100% dedicated in the things I do. If I'm doing something, I want to do it really, really well, and I want to give it 100% commitment. I don't want to be stretched between doing my honors degree in the fourth year and then trying to do this business to take care of my clients. So if I'm in this 100%, and that is why ever since then there's no looking back. 2000 and 2003 until now, it's been 21 years. It's been a beautiful 21 years. The journey has been excellent. I have many trusted clients who have journeyed with me. We have progressed from fresh grads to seeing them getting married, to seeing them building their young family, to seeing them having their kids. Some of them even are teenagers right now. And then right now, like what how Edward has introduced me. I'm an EVP in MFA. So over here, I'm leading a team of about 70 financial consultants. So right now it is really something that I'm passionate doing, which is to take care of my clients at the same time to groom the next generation of financial consultants in the industry. And I'm very blessed, I'll say. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a very inspiring start. I think your journey really highlights the passion, and the dedication needed in this field. But I think is must also be really hard on you to make those sacrifice. Like, from day one that you went to NUS, you've been working very hard, and in your fourth year, you get your honors. And you were thinking to yourself, do I continue this or do I actually go for another calling, right? But one thing you mentioned is also lifelong learning. Whatever you do, don't look back. Just go 100% into your decision. I think that's what needed in the financial advisory journey as well. And I think that's something that is very remarkable. Now, this, of course, leads up to the next question, right? You have been in the industry for 21 years. And what I've seen over the past decade is that this industry has been changing rapidly. It has become very competitive. Investors right now today has a lot more options and now are more savvy and educated. The financial literacy has actually went up as well, and there's a lot of agency and platforms out there for them as well. So I want to ask, in your extensive experience, how do you actually approach adding significant value to your clients so that they always come back looking for you? I think that is something that's very key for a lot of advisors today out there.
Yeah, that's right, Edward. You have rightly put across that nowadays I think clients are very well informed, and definitely they are very well exposed as well, right, with the internet and with all the options out there and with all the different providers as well. So I think for all the consultants in the industry, right, when we talk about adding value, I always believe in one thing. There are always professional for a certain kind of thing, right? If I were to put an analogy, when I first bought my first property, I tried to drill some holes into the wall and fix some stuff on my own. Yeah, I managed to do it after hours of trying to do it. But at the end of the day, I suffered. The next 2 days, my whole body is like aching. And I was like, wow, if only I could have paid money and get the professionals to do it. So, so to put it simply, right, there are professionals to do certain things, right? So for clients as well, right, they may be focusing with their career, they may be focusing with their family, right? I think if they can truly find someone that can really trust, you know, to be hand-holding them with regards to managing their finances, I think that is really a blessing already. So then how can consultants on our end focus on the value add? I think the important thing is how do we then simplify the most complicated things for the clients? Because there are so many things out there, and if you're not trained in finance, you may find all these jargons and all these concepts to be rather complicated. Simplifying the most complicated things to put across to a layman. I think that is the biggest value add any financial consultants can bring across to their client, so that the clients can understand where are they truly putting in their hard-earned money into, and where are we getting towards. So you see, when the trust is established, communication of the complicated things to be simplified, and then after that, setting the milestones in their life, and then hand-holding the client and journeying with them. I think that is what financial advisory is all about. Because having milestones, it takes time to reach the milestone, right? It takes time, it takes patience, it takes discipline as well, right? If clients were to out of their own impetus or out of hearsay, they go into investing on their own. They could be going into a lot of traps and a lot of, I would say like situations that they were totally not prepared for. Because on certain platforms, when they do certain scenario planning or certain projections, there are certain assumptions whereby clients are totally not aware of. And what if these assumptions were to change? And it is normal to see assumptions change, right? Because in these 21 years, I've been through basically three crises. In the year that I started in 2003, that was the year of the SARS, right? Maybe some consultants were still in school, they're still very young, right? But that was the year I started. That was the year of the start of SARS. If you were to recall, it was a very tense situation. Economy was really strained. Business was not flowing. Everything was uptight. Uptight. So it was tough. And then in the year 2007, 2008, that was the year of subprime. And when it hit us like a tsunami. There's no time to react for a lot of people, and a lot of people panic. A lot of people panic. I mean, I have clients who have invested significant money with me already. One of the case study, if I were to share, is actually is my uncle who's already semi-retired, right? And he was basically driving a taxi, just to get by with time and earn a bit of part-time income. So his money, I know, is hard earned, but his money invested with me in their portfolio came down about 30 to 50% because we really have no reaction time, right? But because of the trust he have with me, he just basically asked me. He said, "Now that we are having this subprime, what should we do?" You know, if I am not there to give him that kind of advice to say that the portfolio is sound, is stable, we should ride through this storm, we should ride through this wave. At the end of the day, we should come up fine. If I'm not there to give him this piece of advice, there's a high chance that a lot of layman clients may succumb to the volatility and they may exit the market at a 30 to 50% loss. But because he held on based on this kind of advice that I provided to him, right, we managed to ride through the storm, and he managed to have his portfolio conclude at a 10% profit at the end of the day, instead of having a 30 to 50% loss. So subprime was the second major crisis I went through. And of course, the third one, I'm sure everyone is very aware of, was the year of COVID, right? When COVID came, we don't know how bad it's going to get. By the time we realize it's bad, it's like, wow, it's really bad. And everyone get locked in. And then the market basically has dropped also about 30 to 50%, right? And when the market has corrected, I would say drop, not corrected, drop, really drop 30 to 50% drastically. A lot of people were panicking as well, right? A lot of people were panicking as well. And there was also a lot of speculation. How will the market recover? Is it going to be a V shape? Is it going to be a W shape? Is it going to be a square root? All this kind of funny theory come about. So basically, there's a lot of noises out there in the market. A lot of noises, a lot of noises. I think as financial consultants and advisors, right, we can value add to the clients by helping them to discern between the noises and the actual market signals. There are noises and there are really true market signals. Which are the true market signals that will affect your portfolio, that will affect your journey to accumulation towards your milestone? Let's not be affected by the noises. I think that is where we handhold our clients and then journey towards their financial freedom with them.
Great reply actually, Chung Tze. I think that resonates very well as well. But I think the key point that you have highlighted, one is about the trust, one is about going through the crises and then weathering through them as well. I think key point, I think you highlighted the analogy, right, or the actually your own life experience, right, drilling holes and all that. I mean, to put it simply, there's also a reason why IKEA actually have their own service provider as well, because they know that they are known to be DIY, but yet they do offer professionals coming in to help to fix up your cabinets and whatnot, which to be honest, I'm one of the subscriber to it. I actually paid for it because I don't want to do the thing myself. I rather leave it to the professional to do it. The simple ones I can fix, but the bigger ones, yeah. So to me, I think the financial journey is a bigger one, and I think that's a key point whereby professionals got to come in. But I wanted to also carry on from this conversation is I think you highlighted very importantly at the start that you started off in the final SEM when you are still in school. And of course, you talk about your warm leads. But then again, no matter how sociable we are, and humans are known to be sociable, there
Yeah.
are so many different clients that we have, so many friends that we have, your long distance relatives, and back then, especially in the early 2000s, right? Anybody that call you up for no reason, right? Is this a particular insurance agent and all that coming to find me, or at best, I mean, we as we serve our NS and all that. I think this was another big pool of clients to target as well. I'm quite sure we have been prospect before as well. So to be honest, I mean, 20 over years of experience, right? What exactly is the client segment that is actually be most receptive to? Maybe not the specific client segment, but probably the type of profiles that the clients that you have been in touch with. I know you've talked about your uncle experience, which is actually great as well. But that could be a segment that is semi-retired, probably, and you have that your friends and your close friends who are with you during the final sem of school, or your juniors, and even your fellow army mates as well. So what kind of client segment are actually most receptive to the financial advisory, and also what exactly are they looking for? Are they really planning to, I don't know, back then, when COE prices are still high, are they planning to buy a car back then? Or are they trying to get by and ensuring that their school fees can be paid for? And yeah, I think that will be something that will be interesting to hear from you as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I think with regards to client segment, like I said, warm market, meaning my natural market, a lot of the fresh grads at the point of time. And through the years, as we journey, as they move up in their career path, um, we continue to build on the portfolios that they have started with me. Because a lot of them are fresh from the uni. In fact, a lot of them majored in econs, majored in stats, and because through my academic years, a handful of my clients, of my friends actually became doctors as well. They were progressing towards the medical school. And of course, we also have a handful of the entrepreneur ones, who eventually became business owners, right? So if you were to ask me about my client segment, I would say that a lot of them are professionals, and a lot of them are business owners, right? And then in terms of what kind of clients are those, what are the kind of clients who actually work with me, right? I think I come across as very personable and and very, very true, and that's what my clients liked about me. And when we connect, we don't really focus on just the business. Both for the clients and also for myself. I choose to connect with clients, and I'm sure vice versa, the clients choose to connect with me as well, because we share the same thinking, in terms of frequency, in terms of values, right? So if we are of the same frequency and values, the communication is much, much easier, and then the business will come kind of like natural. It's really natural, and through the years of journeying, it becomes very enjoyable. It becomes very comfortable, right? Because whatever we were to share is pretty much on the same page, pretty much on the same page. The client know that whatever I'm going to advocate to them, or provide advice to them, most of the time, I have already done it myself. If I were to say, invest in certain things, if I were to say, maybe you should also bump up your coverage because now you are married, you have a young kid, you have an additional dependent, you should bump up your coverage. Or I say, certain of these advices, it's because I've already done it. And then I'll tell them, this is exactly what I've done. And because we are of the same age, we are around the same life stage, I suggest you do this as well. And that is where they give you a really long and hard thought about it. And most of the time, they will proceed with my advisors, right? Because we are aligned, you see, we are aligned. Yeah.
Yeah, I think what you say is actually quite true. You have to feel connected with your advisors. I do have an advisor, and she's, older than me, much older, but she went through many life stages before, and I can actually relate to what you have actually mentioned. And another thing that you have highlighted is the values. That's very important, especially for me, right? For me, I want someone that has somewhat the same value as me. And if these are aligned, then naturally you'll be more receptive to what the advisor is basically saying. But leading up to the next question, demographics has been changing. Younger clients, like, your fresh grad now think differently because they grew up in a different time and era. And with that in mind, and with markets getting more competitive, I want to pick your thoughts. What should advisors focus on to truly stand out and be able to appeal to the younger clients today? I'm actually quite interested to know. Yeah.
That's a very good question. I think first and foremost, a lot of consultants and advisors when they first started their business, right, they will think of wanting to make everyone their client, right, which is very natural. I'm out there, I want to get a new client every day, right? Nothing wrong about that, but actually a lot of times, my advice to my new advisors and consultants who are in my team, right, is that you should also focus on basically focus. I know you want to have new clients, but you should focus on clients who are aligned with you. So you must know what kind of clients you are looking for first, right? Instead of trying to grab hold of whoever is out there and hoping that the whole world become your clients, right? You must know what kind of clients you like to have first. What is your criteria for people to become your client, right? So then you have a clearer approach and clearer direction, what kind of clients to have. But for yourself, how do you differentiate? I think because like what Edward has said earlier on as well, financial advisory encompasses a lot of things. It encompasses investment and investment spectrum. There's already so many things. Insurance as well. There's so many things. While the financial advisor can do everything, what is the thing that you truly love to do? What is your business angle? You have to find a business angle. Example, maybe you like to focus on young families, right? Maybe this advisor like to focus on young families. Maybe another advisors would like to focus on retirement planning, right? Another advisor would like to focus on just purely on wealth. Whatever it is, find a business angle that you like to focus in, right? And probably that will be the angle that you really enjoy doing as well. And the kind of business, the kind of clientele mix, clientele profile that you're speaking to as well. You enjoy speaking to people of a certain kind of age group. All right, and that would be your business angle. Once you find your business angle, identify the business angle, I think what a consultant would then have to do is to build on that direction. You see, if I want to focus on retirement planning, then whatever I'm reading every other day or researching every other day should be around the topic on retirement planning, right? So that when I meet my clients, I would definitely have a lot of nuggets to share with them because I've read so much about retirement planning, right? Or maybe there could be a consultant who said, hey, I want to focus on people who are thinking about migrating to another company. I'm sorry, another country, migrating to another country, right? But do you know what's the pros and cons of migrating to another country? Do you know about the kind of tax laws that apply in other countries, whereby actually, truth to be told, Singapore is a tax haven, right? It's so good to be in Singapore. Why would anyone want to migrate to other countries? Whereby the tax is so much higher, right? There are crazy amount of income tax in very developed countries like UK, right? Even in US, right? Or even things like estate taxes, that will be implemented in the event that you passed on, right? Property gain tax that is applicable in other countries, which is not here. So I think consultants and advisors, they have to firstly identify what is the business angle you want to embark on. And then you build on that direction. When I say build, I mean you research and you read and you learn more about that topic. And then after that, you go out there, you know who you're looking for, what is the direction you're building on. And most importantly, you must be able to articulate what you are looking for, who you are looking for. And from there, I think business is going to be much more enjoyable for all these advisors as well.
Hey, great, Chung Tze. I think that there are good points over there as well, and I think maybe IRAS can get you to be their tax ambassador and try to do more tax here in
Awesome.
Singapore.
I was just gonna say that.
But it's too late. Just past the tax filing season already. And maybe next year. Let me get somebody from IRAS to come in to speak to you. but in all seriousness, right? I think I think not really about the differentiation. I think you brought up very good points about who exactly and what kind of profile you're going for, and then really do research to it. I call them SME, probably in short, subject matter experts.
Yes.
So in areas of segments that you are proficient in, and I think you become the expert in it, and that's where you share, and then and I think within the team itself, right? There could be some of your other advisors and consultants. I have a couple trying to migrate. Maybe you can get the advisors kind of dual or like a group sharing. And I think that will be very beneficial because everybody learn, and it's a learning process. So I probably just to lead on and to round up our discussion here is that, as you know, the AI boom is huge. Nvidia is the main driver. We've seen how it has propelled everything last year. When it comes to investment, if you are in it, I think you are making a lot of money, and maybe the other group of clients you should go for is those that make a sudden windfall from investment or certain
Yes, yes.
bets that they have taken and all that. But
Like Bitcoins as
uh,
well.
yeah, Bitcoin has going up. I think about 60 over thousand right now. So
Yeah.
so maybe one of the key point is that with this AI boom, and then we talk about so much about people being replaced. Everything can be done through Chat GPT. Everything you just type a single question, everything will come out very nicely and done up with. So in I mean, for the past 20 years, we have seen how markets have moved. We have gone through three crises and all that, and then you have seen how the world has evolved. Even in Singapore itself, the financial landscape has evolved with a lot more regulations, and of course, to safeguard the interest of clients. But going forth, in your interaction with probably some of the more senior members at Manulife FA and within your own agency itself, and probably you mentioned about some of the professionals that you have met as your client. What do you see, going forth in the next decade? Whether is it more increased competition? Are they? I know for the longest time, the financial industry has always been wanted to be disrupted. But I think back then they introduced, online subscription for your term plans and all that, kept to a certain amount of sum assured. But you know, how do you think that will go on, for the next 10 years? And how is it going to be shaped up in the next growth stage? Yeah.
Yeah, I think yeah, very interesting, right? Looking into the future, right? Hopefully we have a crystal ball and know exactly what's going to happen. Right? Well, I cannot say exactly what's going to happen, but with AI, I think it is a ongoing learning experience for everyone. 21 years in the business, I honestly, I would say that I am still learning as well. Truly, I am still learning as well, right? And I hope to see that kind of spirit in everyone, all the advisors out there as well, so that we can take the best care of our clients, right? So when I say that we are all learning, you see, AI when it first started out, uh, there were all the talks about if whether AI is a competition, right? Personally, and with a few close group of people in my team, we will say that AI is not a competition, right? AI is not a competition. AI probably will never be a competition, right? Because at the end of the day, right, it's all about the human touch first. AI is good and AI is important, but the human touch comes first, right? At the end of the day, we would still love to speak to someone, rather than clicking on the on the screen and purchasing a term like what Roger has mentioned just now. Purchasing is not an issue. How much to purchase could be a question, right? A bigger question will be after you purchase, and eventually, if you need to make a claim, who's going to click the button for you to make a claim? You still need a human being, right? Right? All right. I mean, when you're down and you're out, and then the next closest to you could be your spouse, who could be distraught already with the situation, right? Trying to take the best care of you. Will she be in the right state of mind to go and process a claim? Or would she rather just drop a message to a trusted consultant and say, you know what, my husband is down and out. I think we have to process a claim. Can you help me with it? And everything gets sorted out. Everything gets sorted out, right? So AI is not a competition. In fact, AI, I look at it as a tool that can enable us to do our job better. Probably in a more efficient manner, in a more effective manner. It can allow us to do so many things, right? Things to do with data analysis, right, with regards to investment and stuff. For people who are not so fluent with language, knowing how to write, not knowing how to write, already doesn't become a big problem anymore. Just put in ChatGPT, it helps you to write better, right? So at the end of the day, I think it is about learning. It is about ongoing learning. Can we embrace AI, not look at it as a competition, embrace it, learn how to tap into its unique and strong propositions, right, to help us, enable us to do better in our business for our clients and take care of our clients better. I think that is what AI is all about. So the future, I looked at it as I don't think that it is frightening or scary. Of course, it may be frightening or scary for people who choose not to learn, right? If you're not learning, you're just You don't even understand AI. You're just going to put it at arm's length and say that, oh, yeah, there's a thing called AI. But, wow, it's quite scary. I don't understand what's going on. I don't know how to make use of it to help me. Then naturally, over time, sorry to say that, but you will be phased out, right? But for those of us who are learning, we will know how to embrace, we will know how to tap on it, we will know how to leverage on it. And to learn, I think the interesting thing to put across is to learn, it is not a solo journey, right? Right? For me, 21 years in the business, for some of my consultants, even longer, right, the senior ones, they will find that, hey, sometimes, wow, to learn new things, it gets a bit challenging. But actually, you know what? The easier way to learn, to make learning a bit more palatable, you just go mix around with the younger ones. And then you ask them, hey, actually, how you use this thing? What do you do? Then, wow, then they show you the way they show you how the ChatGPT works or how AI works. It's quite magical. Then I was like, oh, actually so easy, huh? Right? Because if you were to go and try it yourself, there is certain hurdle. Maybe, you'll be like, wow, I don't know can or not. But maybe you see, those younger ones, you just go to them, you see, while we guide them on business experiences and things, right? They can actually also, turn around and motivate us and guide us on the new technology as well. And then we grow together. There's synergy. We grow together as a team. That's why I was very happy to say that my team is very dynamic. We have a very highly diversified age profile in my team. We have very senior ones. We also have the very young ones. So there's a good leverage from there, because the young ones can learn from the older ones with regards to experience, and then the older ones can learn from the younger ones with regards to technology. So AI, the future is AI is here to help us. It is not a competition.
Well, I truly love the way you put it. AI is not a competition, and I agree with you, because I mean, this is my own personal experience with my advisor, right? But usually your advisors end up becoming your best friend, right? Someone that you can actually confide in, talk about personal, things and so on and so forth. And even as an investment professional myself, sometimes your advisors can give you, certain ideas that never cross your mind, okay? And we, in fact, we have debated on how we should actually progress on certain investments, certain goals that I want to reach. And I think that is a very healthy and good relationship that, the kind that you can't actually get through an AI, right? And like you say, AI is a tool to definitely help you work efficiently. But at the end of the day, you still want someone that you can actually speak to. There's a human voice behind it and also emotion behind it as well. And things like during market crisis, AI is definitely not going to handhold you and tell you let's do this, let's do that. But a human, right, can definitely reassure you and tell you not to worry. This is how markets have been, and over long terms, markets tend to basically go up, and handhold you through that market crisis, and this actually helps you in the relationship building as well.
Thanks a
So
lot, Chung Tze. I think you have shared wonderfully, in terms of the value add, the differentiation, the client segment. I think I like really the part about how you get started and all that. I think it can
mhm,
resonate very
mhm.
well, and I think that would actually be a lot of value add to potential advisors and that who are thinking of or should I go into this line? How is it different? And I think that has really provided a very good insight to you. And I think the closing part about going forth as well, how we should embrace the tech part, how do we look at it. But above everything else, I think the key point that you highlighted, I felt that was actually really about the connection with the clients, the interaction, and really being there, talking to them and understanding them. And I think that's the key part. So thank you, Song Tzu, for spending time with us today and sharing all this very good wisdom with us as well. And really, really appreciate it, taking time of your busy schedule, coming and joining us today for this podcast series as well. Thank you so much, Song Tzu.
Thank you, and also thank you to all our listeners for joining us on this journey today. We hope you found this conversation as enriching as we did.
Thanks everyone for listening to this episode of Advisors Launch.
Have any questions or feedback for us? Drop us a comment below. We love to hear from you.